This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at
Le Risaie del Nord.
This map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for all platforms. Now, this map is done by the same map author group that brought to us the map that had the grapes and the grape harvester equipment. This map also includes a new crop. This map includes rice and the ability to flood fields. Now, we've seen that in one other map over here on the Giants Mod Hub. This map seems to have really taken that concept and perfected it a bit more than that first map. There is a SAME pack, SAME pack, also by this map author. I'm going to put a link in the description to that because we can see, like here in this preview image, we've got a tractor with steel wheels. We'll also see some steel wheels over at the farm up here by this wall. And that particular pack includes the ability to configure your tractor with steel wheels, and those are apparently used in the flooded rice fields. So let's go ahead and read a bit of the description. In this area of Italy, you can find ponds and large fields of rice, being the area purely known for its large rice production. This map is inspired by an area of the Italian name between the Pio River and another Italian name river, from which many farmers draw to flood their rice fields. The area is mainly used for forestry activity also. Choice of using an area as a paddy field or for forestry varies in the relation to the climatic characteristics of the moment and the presence of irrigated resources. So basically, if there isn't water to flood the field, then they'll do something else with it. So this map consists of 55 fields, 30 of which can be flooded for rice cultivation. There are waterways with relative locks to regulate the flooding of the field. The size of the fields vary from a minimum of 1.23 hectares to a maximum of 7.23. It is possible to produce corn mash to feed pigs or for the sale of the same using a special forage harvester. A necessary pack for forage harvester. So that is one of the required mods with this particular map. In addition to the classic crops excluding sugarcane, this map includes sorghum, protein pea, alfalfa, rice, and chickpeas. There are also 3 different silage bunkers available for the production of traditional silage, compost, or the production of corn mash. And then the description goes on to say that corn mash is produced by basically using the output of the special forage harvesters and putting it into the appropriate corn mash bunker, compacting it, covering it, and letting it ferment just like the silage process. Let's go ahead and load on into the map. Now, this map does have 2 required mods listed, one of which is the brick shed pack, Italian style, and the other required mod is the forage harvester pack. Those are both linked in the description of the in the web page of the map. That is also linked in the description below. Go ahead and pick up the mods that we typically use during these videos. And there we go. Go ahead and take a look at the log. And let's go ahead and load on in. Now, this map does include a custom seasons mask as well as a custom soil map. So if you're playing with seasons or precision farming, you will have the full capability and benefit of those particular mods. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map. Zoom on out, and you'll see that we have quite the variety of fields and shapes. Most of them are fairly squarish. If we take a look at our lands, you'll see we start out by owning the main farm here, which includes a chicken area, as well as fields 6 and 10. Now we do have cows and pigs over here in its own area, $156,000 for that particular piece of property. The biogas plant can be purchased for $139,000. And let's take a look at some of these buyable lands. So field 33 and 32, which is all sandy loam, $268,000. Field 14, $108,000. Field 25, $140,000. And maybe a bigger field like field 7, $481,000. If you take a look here at our crop types, we do have all of the crops available to us in Farm Sim 17 without sugarcane. And then what is added, we have alfalfa. And let's go ahead and take a look at the icons and try to remember which icon is which. So we have alfalfa, sorghum, protein pea, rice, and chickpeas. Go ahead and take a look at the custom soil map. And we can see that we have quite a bit of sandy loam on this particular map. Pretty much just a combination of sandy loam and loamy sand. That is pretty much it as far as this map goes. Wee little bit of loam here at 49 and 51 and 52, as well as down here at 26. Interesting enough, there is pretty much no silty clay on this particular map. Now let's take a look here at our prices screen. You see we have two main sell points for the bulk of our grain crops, and then we go into our more specialty crops. We've got 3 sell points for our root crops. The supermarket, interesting enough, is going to be where we sell our cotton and wool. We have 2 sell points for eggs, 4 sell points for milk. We do have a sell point for wood chips. And then we have 2 sets of sell points for silage, hay straw, and grass. We move over here to our additional crops. So alfalfa here at the merchant. And then we have, I guess this is compost. No particular sell points for compost. So I'm assuming that we just make compost for the benefit of using it to spread on the field like a fertilizer with a manure spreader. Then we have our sorghum. We have our protein pea. We have our rice. This is our corn mash. And then I guess this is chickpeas. And we do have 2 sell points for our pellets, should we so wish to use straw harvest. Take a look at our starting equipment. It is all well maintained and all new. None of it is leased, and we do not start with any animals at the start. Our contracts available to us also on this map. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the starting equipment. Start out with the T5 120 and the Steyr Profi CVT 4145. Then we have the Massey Ferguson 4347S harvester. And then that is paired with the Free Flow 25-foot grain header. And take a look. The grain header is going to be for our, interesting enough, alfalfa. So I guess we're harvesting alfalfa for its seed. Then we have our sorghum. We have our protein pea. We have our rice, and we have our chickpea with this particular header. We also have the SEK 802 trailer, the Agrimaz BTC 50H cultivator, the D830 seeder. We have the Kuhn fertilize spreader, as well as the Zelon CFS 2501 forage wagon. We have a header trailer and a set of weights. And then we have the chicken coop as a placeable, cow pasture and pig enclosure as placeable, as well as a bunker silo for compost. We have a large grain silo, brick shed with garage, brick shed with door, brick shed opened vehicle workshop, gas station, and our farmhouse. So let's go here and take a look. We go to corn headers. Okay, we have our traditional corn headers that are good for sunflowers and corn. Then we move over to the corn mash corn headers that are good for corn mash and sunflowers. Take a look at our forage harvester headers. They are just pretty much standard, which is kind of interesting. We have a forage harvester pack, which I guess is what brings us these headers for traditional harvesters, as opposed to what we would think would be a forage harvesters there. Let's just check. Sorry, we do have, look here, we do have forage harvesters here that I guess take regular headers. Let's collect 300, yeah. These are pretty standard. So yeah, I'm a little confused on what we do with respect to corn mash. Now, if we take a look at the placeables, you can see that we can indeed buy our animal placeables back, should we so sell them. Also, if you load this map up on New Farmer or Start from Scratch, the farm area here that we're looking at will be completely barren. You'll have to put down whatever buildings you want, as well as the starting equipment is completely gone. Take a look here at our silos area. We do have a silage bunker for silage bunker for compost, silage bunker for corn mash. Now, interesting, do not have the ability to buy the large farm silo back. I didn't see that. And we do have indeed the farmhouse. So let's take a look here at the main farm. So down this way, we have our farmhouse. With our sleep trigger. Got a little garden here off to the side. Gate. Wow, we're set up for some little snacks out here in the back. We have some of our sheds here with some of our starting equipment. We have our fuel trigger. Our maintenance shed. Complete with levitating weight. Thank you very much. Don't need to look for that anymore. And as I said in the intro, we do have just kind of decorative these steel weights. And again, you can get that SAME pack, S-A-M-E pack. We'll put a link in the description, or try to remember, where you can download tractors that have these as configurable options. Some more of our sheds over here. Kind of interesting why we don't have maybe that pack listed as requirement. And then we could have some of that as starting equipment also. We have our huge grain silo. One massive looking silage or massive looking dump trigger. So, looked at this earlier and I didn't see a fill pipe trigger on any of these. So I'm a little confused on this. Let's take a look at this thing here in the garage again. Large grain silo. 200,000 liters of wheat. So it's only configured to store wheat. And like I said, I do not see in any regard the trigger. Oh, here it is hidden. Right here is the sole pipe out trigger. Is it about halfway down? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it is silo number 11, right smack in the middle, 5 down from either end. Then over here we have a silage bunker for biomass. So that would be our compost bunker. And we have our chicken coop. There were eggs. Chicken delivery point, 400 chickens. And then our food trough. So while we're over here, I wanted to show you how these floodgates are set up to work. We have a pair of floodgates over here. And as the description said, there are 55 fields, 38 of which are set up to operate as floodgates. So you just come up here to one of these, you left click to open the gate, and you can see kind of the water will be flowing in here slowly. And then it will basically flood the field. Let's go ahead and hit this one over here. I think they did a pretty good job with the way the animation's coming in. And then we could basically go here and let's just do this so we can see the field a little bit. Make it cultivated. So there you go. There's the flooded field. And let's hit the trigger to close the floodgates. See the water recedes. And then there you go. Really cool setup on that. Let's go ahead and get ready to do our fly around. So to the north, we have a bit of forest, as well as forest on the far eastern, southern, and western edges of the map. So you can see all of these fields, for the most part, have floodgates associated with them. There are irrigation ditches connecting to these various rivers. Sawmill is over here in the northwest corner of the map. We'll take a closer look at that when we get around to driving. Here we have our cow and pig area, as well as 3 different bunkers. Big shed for storage. Directly south of that, we have the biogas plant with 4 large 3-sided silo bunkers. Now we have a train track here. It is just decorative. I don't really know if there's an actual train. I haven't seen one that actually traverses the tracks, but it is not a train that you really need to be using for any purpose. And then down here, we have one of our sell points. Got our vehicle shop, which we're going to be coming back to here in a little bit. And a lot of the southern part of the map is kind of this treed town area. Really nice, interesting layout. Football field or soccer field for us American types. Really like how this town area has been laid out here. We have a community pool. This guy's working on a Fiat of his own regard. Gonna get that working. And way over here in the southeast corner of the map, then we have the supermarket sell point. What is this? Oh, it's a statue of a dog. Interesting. You have ducks scattered around on all the various bodies of water, including the rivers. Obviously, the farmland here is flat because you really can't flood fields that are not flat. Another sell point, and let's go ahead and make our way back down here to the vehicle shop, at which we'll go ahead and get our Mahindra and do a bit of a drive around the map, checking out some of the sites. This is a pretty cool setup here. This road going under the bridge, the walkway for our pedestrians. So the shop is kind of an interesting setup here. And that is that we have what looks like equipment because we have the little dots. But none of this stuff is drivable, as best I can tell. We have little icons, but if we come up here to the pieces of machinery, we can't get into them. Now, something else to note here at the shop is I don't see a proper shop icon. You actually then enter into the shop. I'm not really sure where that is, if it even exists. You have our customize, repair, and sell trigger right here, and the activation icon is where I'm standing now, and the trigger is basically right here. Oh, we got a little bit of a sinkhole, but other things of comedic note is that this must be an office for absolute giants. So, scaling is a bit comical on the office here, but yeah. Not really sure if there is a shop icon at all. But, you know, thankfully you don't need it in order to get into the shop. And there we have our spawn point. So we have a large spawn point for our purchased equipment. Shouldn't have to worry too much about spawning in a bunch of equipment. Alright, so let's go ahead and, I guess, make our way over here to the restaurant. Sell point first. And I think we'll go across the... Oh my, it's a leaning. These guys need to check their foundation. I think it's all these flooded fields. I think what we'll do is we'll work our way across the map, the southern edge of the map, and then make our way up and around that way. Really nice to see a map really not grasping, but taking advantage of an interesting crop like rice. I've commented on live streams and other times before about, types of crops or areas that interestingly never seem to get any treatment by mappers. And one of the areas that we often think about as far as never really seeing anything map related from is Asia. And when you think about Asian farming, you kind of think about rice farming. So I don't really think about, personally, I don't think about rice farming with association with Italy, but apparently it's a thing. I don't doubt that it's a thing. And it's nice to see that this map is, one, educating the player on the types of crops that are grown in various regions of the world, and two, letting us, as realistically as possible within the game engine, experience farming of rice. Because I have thought for a while that it would be nice to see rice come into the game. Even though it seems like some of these specialty crops as of late, sugarcane, for example, really do not get much attention or interest. So we have our gas station here, Black Eyes Petrol. So I don't know really how many folks actively do a lot of sugarcane farming or really cotton farming. And loop on up into here. Have one of our sell points. And this one, kind of a steep ramp up. It's the grain mill right here. That's going to take our chickpeas, rice, sorghum, milk, bit of a specialty purposed sell point here. There we have our athletic field. Let's just call it that. We'll make our way over to the supermarket. As I said during the fly around, this area here, I kind of like how it's been done. The heavily treed, foliaged up, town across the whole southern part of the map. Kind of gives you this sense that it's a big town, it's a big little city. We have our grain dump point. And we'll make our way, oops, another entrance into that. Let's see what we go way past the church here, up a block. Should take us over to the animal dealership. Whoa, man, you're swinging way out there, aren't you? Watch out for that light pole. He's out there in the middle of the road. Oh my. Cleaning houses must be a thing here. So we have a couple different sell points here at the animal dealership. We have the merchant's barn, which is going to be configured to one of our sell points for silage, hay, straw, and grass. We then also have the merchant. Here, again, fairly steep. I'd like to see these recessed a bit more. Just a big step up. And then we have our animal dealer right here at the ramp. Hold on. Off to the side of the ramp. Where? Where I thought it was. There we go. So we have our cow pasture, pig, and chicken coop. And we'll make our way up to sell point just there beside field 27. Curious what you all think of the map. An interesting setup. Never been to Italy, so I don't know how well this represents the area that it is modeling. Pretty cool. Pretty cool design. It's a nice walkway with these paving stones, bollards and chains there. Oh, I thought we were going to do a sell point. We got to go up a block. Kind of a little parking spot there for a like just a nature walk. Having the ability to flood most of these fields is really nice. Like I said, I think it was the Brazilian map that had the capability of doing rice, and it was just a small section of the map was really set up to do flooding. But we did see like AI farmers planting rice on non-floodable fields. This is a nice enhancement from that. Further development, basically making all of the fields, or most of the fields, able to be flooded. Just sneak in front of this guy. And then make our way up here to the biogas plant. Oh, we're going to have to double back. Didn't even realize that the biogas plant is kind of on a spur all by itself. Let's race back down here. Oh! Took a hill the wrong way. A little bit of a bump. Railroad bridge. I assume that that's tall enough for your general trailers to go under. We have our digester here, and then along the side we have our digestate trigger right here at this pipe out location. Then, as I said during the fly around, we have four large silage bunkers. Three, and then big boy over here. 4. Double back and check out the pig and cow area. Let's see if we can't just cheat a little bit. Man, this is kind of a rough little levee. There we go. Cut across. There we go. So both of these animal areas are really basically set up the same. We have our pig area over here. Big old metal doors. We have our food trough. We have our slurry pit. We have our manure pile. We have our straw trigger, water trough for pigs, and we use the animal pen extension mod, which gives us these blue pipes. So it helps us locate where the water trough might be located on areas that are kind of hidden, and also helps us identify where our milk trigger is going to be. You have 5 point here for 100 pigs. And then the cow areas. So once again, we have our slurry pit, our manure pile, our straw trigger, water trough, and you guessed it, next up is our cow delivery point. 50 cows. We have our milk trigger. And again, part of the animal pen extension is this Lily milk sale machine. We can place this wherever we want. And then on PC, if we want to do milk sales, we can just come up here and have a driver come and up our milk. Side here, we do have the food trough. Also, here at this animal area, you have 3 bunkers and a big shed. Now, the animal areas are not present in Farm Manager or Start from Scratch, but these bunkers and this shed is. So we have 2 chaff bunkers for silage on this end. Big concrete and I guess it's steel roofed buildings. And then corn mash. So this is a bunker for corn mash, which apparently is going to be something that we can feed our pigs. Our pigs are going to take corn or corn mash, wheat, barley, soybeans, canola, sunflowers, sugar beets, and potatoes. Cows, we've got our normal food, and chickens, we have our normal food. Go ahead and get back to kind of the main road going north and south. We'll hit up the Italian dairy, the barn, and then we will conclude our tour at the sawmill. Can't really knock this map, again, for being flat. By its nature, it's going to have to be flat. At least the area where the fields are. Forested areas could have a little bit of hills to them. But again, this whole area in Italy might be a huge floodplain. Anyway, blue building here is the Italian dairy operation. And we have our unload trigger for our milk. Look how we have our connection pipes there to hook up to the big old trucks. And just dump the milk straight into the dairy. Now our main farm is up the road that direction. Here we have another Fiat. Seems like it's needing to have its front end reworked. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Nice to meet you. Levitating concrete debris. Sweet. I was about to comment that you'll see around the map in various other spots these big concrete kind of shed structures. And in the last couple of them I've seen, there's been kind of concrete and debris underneath of them, and then wowsy. 2 floaties in one map. 2 for 1 special. I know it's a bit of a mini game, if you will, during the map videos to see how many floaties we find. Try not to point them out in any sort of, mean fashion. Now we do have the other silage. Oh, here's the entryway. Other silage, hay, straw, and grass sell point right here. Got a little bit of the hidden entryway. It's a small break in the grass. Nice little bridge. Surprised that the Italy map doesn't have grapes. That would kind of be what you'd think would be maybe a natural extension of their other map that they did that had grapes included. To have the same grapes added to this map, as well as then the refinement of rice farming. Right, so we've got our log sell point and then our wood chip sell point right here, and that, guys, is gonna do us for
Le Risaie del Nord.
Yeah, I am definitely not going to even attempt to do that in Italian. You guys, let me know in the comments, what do you think of the Northern Rice Fields map? Map can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game mod hub for all platforms. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell.